All right, so I was a fat kid growing up, so my parents enrolled me in basketball to lose some weight, and it worked. I played basketball for 10 years, and I shed all my confidence. So I'll tell you, people are so mean when you're the fat kid on a basketball team. There was this one game, someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, fat boy, you got nice titties." I'm like, "Listen, coach, that..." Why is this always the halftime speech, man? Not great if you want a cool basketball nickname either, being the fat kid on a basketball team, because there's some cool basketball nicknames, right? Like Kobe was the Black Mamba. Magic Johnson, I was bitch tits. I know, a bad nickname for a basketball player and 8-year-old, so. I'm Jewish. I was a fat Jewish kid that played basketball, so I knew if I kept my head down and worked really hard one day, I could buy the team. So I'm just not a very confident person, especially when it comes to like dating and women and stuff. Like I've never had a girl flirt with me. Closest I've ever got was a drugstore clerk once asked if I had a tube of chapstick in my pocket or if I was just happy to see her. I was just shoplifting chapstick. I can't approach women. People always tell me, "Hey, you know, the worst thing a girl can say is no." I'm like, "Really?" The first girl I asked out said, "As if, Reuben, you're fat and ugly." I know, she could have just said no, right? Is no really the worst thing a girl can say? Like, what about fuck you? Or I'm a Jets fan? Or, right? Or Heil Hitler, right? Like, that's way worse than no. Like, no one would ever approach a girl who says Heil Hitler and think, well, she didn't say no, right? You might, but just kidding. Believe it or not, I did actually have a girlfriend once. I met her January 6th, 2019. So I participate in the January 6th conversation, but I just pretend it's about her. People are always like, January 6th, what a bitch. I'm like, yeah, you're telling me. I know, they're like, oh, they're also unhinged and crazy. I'm like, I know. Well, I thought it was funny. I actually met my ex-girlfriend when I was a lot heavier, and she was just as heavy as I was. You guys know that fat couple on the street where we're like, oh, it's so cute that those two found each other. That was me. When you're in a fat relationship, you can't do the normal skinny couple stuff, like sit next to each other on an airplane, or breathe without wheezing. One time we tried having sex in her shower. That was a disaster. Just so you all know, fat shower sex is the only shower where you come out stinkier than when you went in. It's about to get worse. I'm about to describe fat shower sex to all of you. Ready? Have any of you ever tried to like roll up a sleeping bag like really tight and like really try to stuff it like into your backpack and then try to fuck it? She had one of those glass pane showers. It looked like two amoebas expanding under a microscope, you know? All right, I think I've lost you. I'm gonna win you back on this last one, I promise. A lot of states are legalizing drugs now. I think that's really cool. I'm not much of a drug person myself. I did LSD once and never again. I figured if I'm gonna do something that makes me want to jump out of a window, I'll just call my mom. I did start smoking weed again, though. Okay, thank you. All right, the rest of you were a little late on that, but it's okay. Started smoking weed again because I quit for a while. Some people have trouble quitting smoking pot. I found it was really easy to quit smoking pot if you can just run out of pot. I ran out of pot and money. God, was I lucky. Now that weed's legal, I think it's kind of like a kid's drug, and I don't know if that's just me or because I roll my joints with the pages of a coloring book. I just think as you get older, the drugs should get harder, right? Like, I was a teenager when I first smoked pot. I was in my 20s when I dropped acid. I just turned 30. I think it's the year of crack. I don't know much about crack. I just know if somebody wants to suck my dick for it, it's got to be good, you know? Has anyone in this room ever tried crack? All right, nobody wants to suck my dick. Have a good night, everyone. I'm Reuben Wolf.